was that first spiritual experience? Oh, Minkari, I heard some good news from you from Lorenzo. He said that you're driving around and getting around better. Is that right?
Oh, yeah, that's true. Yep.
I'm
Some days
glad.
I have a good day and some days bad.
Okay, but you get pretty good medical reports from the doctors?
Correct, yeah, I did. Everything was stable and improving.
Stable and improving, okay. Well, I'll keep coming with that light, you hear me?
Yes, sir.
You're taking your herbs, right?
Yeah, still on the herbs.
Okay, very good. You stand with your greens and heavy on water.
Oh, yeah, most definitely.
Y'all have to understand, we walking across the desert here, and we gotta take a long walk on a short path. And if your friend get left behind when we get almost to the end of this walk, you will not be able to go back and get them. You will not have time to go back and get them. So let me tell you all, hold on to the rope. Don't give in. Don't give in. Don't give up. And don't give out. There are many of you that have come back with me and Yanu. Some of you may not be aware that Isis is back. And many of those ancient Egyptians are back, just like we are. The way that process happened is the reason for mummification. It's really cell preservation. You know, if you do any research, that the cells on the mummy do not expire. They still grow fingernails and they still grow hair. How many of you knew that?
I knew.
Are you all here? Are you here, Chief Amun? All right, I'll tell you. 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 I can't hear you. I can't hear you. Mute your phone. Mute your phone. Stop the feedback. You know that. Stop the feedback. I want y'all to know too that there's a triad of demons here that are working in every way to chip at us very slowly. And we've already set together some plans to cancel them. Okay.
I had a spiritual experience like 2 days ago.
Very good.
I don't know how I can explain. I don't know how I can explain this, but I was in some type of like barn house for like it was like
in what now?
Like a farmhouse with like veggies and stuff like that, and long vine green ropes and stuff like that. And I can't remember it all, but when I went downstairs and looked out the window, right, I seen this like big snake. It was like big, maybe like 10 feet. And it was green and yellow, and it was swerving through the garden, coming my way, right. Then I ran upstairs, and these vine ropes grabbed me like these long leaves. I don't know what you call it, but they're like long real leaves. They grabbed me and tried to pull me down. And it was tigers and it was just like animals around me. And the rope was pulling me down. I kept pushing up. I was giving up.
Jasmine Sullivan, don't be afraid of lions and tigers and bears. I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
And the tigers, they roared at me, and they had cut the rope so I can escape. And I had to climb my way through the top and get out of there. So the animals really helped me out. That's all I can remember. But I know it's the force trying to pull me down, but I'm not giving in.
Or giving out. That's right, or giving up. That's very good. I'm glad that you make it, right? You know, somebody take your King James Bible and go to John 8, verse 44. A couple of y'all do that right quick. Need you to read that out loud. So, Keeper, you're not here either from Tennessee. All right there, Cheryl. Could you please check King James, John 8, verse 44 for us?
Okay, give me 1 moment.
Sure. Okay. Now, you all heard about the Olmecs, I'm sure, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, you know that the Olmecs are still here, but those beings that descended from them, do you all remember Verdiachi? that I was the ambassador for the Nawapi Nation of Variachi?
Yes, I know.
Okay. The ancient Olmecs are what you all call the modern day Washita Indians. You follow me? They've lost a lot of stature, even though Variachi was a pretty statuesque woman, a large woman, large being. And I was myself at that time, so what I mean is they still have a dominant presence, but they're the Washita, modern day Washita Indians. So a lot of these beings that you refer to as God, and I told you before in last class that the Olmecs were here as saviors to the black race, because those are the ones that went into battle with the reptilians on our behalf, all over the world. Now you can see that depicted in modern day movie magic and series like The Predator. So when you look at the Olmecs with the helmets on the big heads, how many of you have seen those? In South America?
I have.
Okay.
I have.
When you look at the Olmecs and then look at the Predator, the ones that were sent here to hunt the reptilians, remember on the Predator? With the helmets on their head? Those big hunters are really the Olmecs, the ancient Olmecs. And they were hunting reptiles like that, it's true. So these things that appear to be fiction movies, a lot of times on any given Sunday, they're rooted in reality. Are you following me? Now, what I'm saying is that as we go along this path, which is very short, the time left, many of you all are going to start waking up into the reality that you're Isis and many other ancient Egyptians. Are you following what I'm saying? So pay attention, stay close, and hold on to the rope. A lot of you brothers and sisters here are only part human. You hear me, Star Movers? Now, and I say that with a lot of confidence because you know yourself that you have changed dramatically since you've been walking with me. So, start looking for the signs that you are indeed a supreme being returned. All right. Yes.
This is Annunaki. A little while ago, I was washing dishes, and the Messiah was speaking to Harry, I think, I forget. Anyway, all of a sudden, it felt like I had just came back from somewhere. I'm listening to it. And it was just the strangest feeling. I don't know what happened. It just came over me that I felt that I had just came back from somewhere.
It's a loss of time, and that's a beautiful experience. And it's also an indicator that you are. And I noticed that hardly a night passes that I don't see your aura. So, you know, the thing is there's a war being waged inside of us between the mortal and the deity. And I suggest that you really tighten up and stay close right now to make sure that the deity wins. Because forever is a very long time. And the decision is really a tick-tock moment. Okay? All right. Okay, who was that first question? Cheryl, did you find John 8, verse 44?
Yeah. 44.
Did you read that to us real loud? I want to dedicate that to the serpent. What does it say?
Okay.
If you read it loud and clear.
Okay, is it John 8:34 or 44?
44.
Okay, 44. Right, it says, "Ye are of your father, the devil, and the lusts of your father ye will do. He was a murderer from the beginning, and abode not in the truth, because there is no truth in him. When he speaketh a lie, he speaketh of his own, for he is a liar, and the father of it."
I love it. That was short and sweet, but it's the truth. And you find people that are not present participating in this format. Now, they know what this is, and they know we're just not another group of niggas talking a lot of fantastic BS. They know this is real. They know who we are. And when they work against this group, then you're talking about the reptilians, the draconians. unfortunately, they're also present. And they feel like they're invested in what we do because they know when ties in, dirt's out. In other words, as soon as you all begin to raise, that's an inescapable indication to them that they're being left behind. Because not having a soul, they're incapable of the ascension, you follow? And misery loves company. It's the bucket of crab syndrome, you hear what I'm saying? So just know that's all right, because blessed are those of you that are persecuted for righteousness' sake, because theirs is the kingdom of heaven. And you're going to have these little boogers with feet working against you, until we get rid of them, and I've already figured out what to do. Make sure that they know they're obscure. We don't need them. We'll cut them off and let them go and create their own reality, which is hell. All right. Thank you. Next question. Thank you, Cheryl. They also don't let their presence, they try to, keep their presence smothered because they're here to drain energy out the class. Are you following me? That's what they do. They do everything to what like a drag, to drag you. You know what I'm saying? They're here to drag this information in the class. They want to weigh you down. They want to slow it up, and then they like ants. They all take little black ass and white bites, little nibbles. Like an ant trying to eat an elephant. They all take their little bites all the time. Every way they can, they're trying to drag the mission down. Are you following me? And they take their ugliness and they throw it out like a sail to try to slow it, catch the wind, and slow down everything. So those of you that are sincere, think of the questions that you have or the statements you'd like to make right now, please.
I have a question on
I'll do my best.
Could you explain or take me into the Holy Tablets about the death and rebirth of nine ether?
Yes, I can explain it, and I understand. I see your point. Okay, it's like you look at the hands on the clock, and you see the resurrection of nine ether. But as nine ether decays and goes down, it goes down and integrates into six ether, and six ether eventually devolves into death. And then death again resurrects back into nine ether. But that was cyclical. That was cycles. Now you're in the final cycle, and that time is up. Are you following me? So
Yes.
You went through that process. You went through that process as a part of your past. So there will be no more resurrecting into nine ether because there's no more time and no more cycles left. Are you following me? So death is death, six ether is six ether, nine ether is nine ether at this stage in the game, okay?
How will happen, Saya?
I love you. All right, next question.
Yeah, I saw the trailer of that film North Star that you said to watch.
Okay, what was it again?
North Star.
North Star, okay, yeah, right. Exactly. Yeah, that was one. Yeah. Send me that link, please, okay?
All right,
and it was one before that. What was that?
Freedom from North Carolina.
Yeah, did you watch that one? That was one
No, I didn't. I
was
can only watch the trailer. Yeah.
Yeah, the Freedom from North Carolina will be more telling, okay?
Right, okay. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm glad that you took the time and effort to look it up and find it. You hear me? Bless your soul for that.
Yeah. Very, very good films. They look very good films.
Yeah, it's revealing, and it's something that brings your memory back to the reality of what your situation is among these people. Because a lot of people go to sleep, and they're imagining some kind of friendly six ether of death, and they're not. They're enemies. They abhor nine ether. You follow me? They are not friendly. You know what I mean? And the thing is about a snake. If you forget, and it's a pet, you try to pet it like a bunny, it will remind you. You hear me?
Yes,
it is a snake. That's right. It is not a bunny. It's an ugly snake. A soul is a cold thing. and it thinks evil continuously, okay? So even when they smile, it's like a dog that shows his teeth before he bites. You got it? And if they're giving you milk in one village, they're prepping up to bomb the next. You know what I mean? But their mind is always motivated on thinking of a way to block, slow down, kill, and dissipate the truth. You follow? If they can do it in computer form, like on the Facebook, or in any other place to block you, slow you down, and confuse things, that's what they do. You follow me? So, I wouldn't get too involved in cyclical things like, you know, like devils turning into gods and any cycles, because that's just whatever people are going to be. All of us have devils and gods inside of us, and at this late time, whatever was inside of you is emerging to the surface right now. You hear me? So if you turn out to be a god, that's what your future is. If you turn out to be the devil, that's what you. All the culmination of your experiences to date, accumulative, adds up to the fact that you are what you are right now. These are end times, and I want you all to keep your mind on the Middle East and understand that Armageddon is breaking out right there, right? And it's not a thing that you should be concerned about because it doesn't involve you. Because on this journey, you as divine beings that are ascending back into gods, in other words, raising your vibrations up to match that of the Most High. You may be in this world, but not of this world. Are you following what I'm saying? You are raising up, and you can see these things on television, and a lot of experiences happening around you, but they won't directly affect you if you're sincere and really with this, and you really are starving for truth, and you are a defender, Salahuddin, a defender of the faith, then you have no fears. Just relax. But the cocky demons, they should be terrified, but they're much too arrogant and ignorant to know that. All right. Next question. Let's get rolling now. I'm glad. I know one. Say it again.
Not at this time.
Yeah, but I just know one thing. I'm very pleased with your presence, and I'm glad that you got that life force in you, and you're up driving your car and what have you. Because you're a miracle in yourself. Again, because you defeated the same adversary. This is probably your third or second time, right?
Yeah, second time.
Yeah, well, you much more than conqueror. I love you, and I will be there again tonight as usual. You hear me?
I hear you.
And we're gonna send you some light collectively before this session is over. You all remind me that we want to do a healing session for Men Car Ray and anybody else that needs it. What is that next question now, family?
I'm sorry, I have a question.
I'll do my best.
Is there a shift in the weather due to the weather changing from hot to cold so frequently? Because it'd be hot one day and it'd be very cold.
In other words, the Bible says it like this: you won't be able to tell one season from another. And now you have in the United States a lot of frigid temperatures. In Iowa, where they're having that vote right now, you have -0, but you have a lot of, some places 45 degrees below zero. Cheryl, what's the coldest it's getting over there in England?
We're coming down to like 8, -1 and all that sort of thing at the moment.
Oh.
Probably snow too. Yeah.
You're on another scale though, right?
Yeah.
You don't use degrees. So what would it be comparable in degrees? How frigid, how cold is it over there?
I think it's about 8. It's about 8, isn't it? Yeah, about 8.
8 degrees or 8 below zero?
No, it'll be 8 to 10 degrees.
Okay, because 32 is freezing. So yeah, in other words, it's cold. But it's a lot colder in the United States. That's unusual. A lot colder. Even in the southern states in Texas, they have freeze warnings. What's the temperature like where you are, off down there in Texas?
I'm looking at it right now. One moment, it is, I think it's 11. No,
Well,
it's 14.
That's not bad. Well, that's below freezing, but I mean, it's not frigid like it is in some places. Yeah, I know 14 is below freezing.
And it's snowing.
Yes, I know. And they're concerned about the power grid down in Texas, too. Yeah.
Yes, they are.
Yeah, but then when summer comes and it's too hot, they're concerned about it that it's melting, so it's getting unsustainable. So 5G is not going to save them from their inevitable destiny of hell. It's not going to save them. All right, who has that next question? Now's the time to find out all the things you want to know. You want to be armed with facts. You have to know what's going on. There is no defense against an invisible enemy. I'll tell you all something. Look here, Cheryl, and people that are familiar with media, what do you call those places that you hire? Are they publicists or the places that you hire to handle your media and get spread all over the world? What's the name of that? What would you call it, Cheryl?
Did you say media?
Yeah, media. You can pay people to get your name out, to get a book out or something. There's companies you can pay to do that.
Oh, the writing, I know what you mean, the writing guild, those sort of people, yeah.
And it's like a publisher or something.
Yeah, publishers. Right, yeah.
A marketing?
Publishers.
Okay, but not for books, because I don't want to put any books out right now. But I do want to have us in every media format, all over Facebook, Twitter, and all of these demons are playing, but it's so much to kind of cut it off. That's why, no matter how powerful the information is that's coming through this format, the devils, they always block it in every way they can and slow it down. You follow me? And you can tell them because on their timelines, all they have is just bullshit, nothing but empty bullshit continuously. Never anything related to us or the truth. So they're just puppet figureheads, like in a bobblehead in the back of a car. They're not here to propagate. They're not going to post the truth. They're not going to, they don't have anything to do with the success of the mission. They're not here for that. They're here to drag it down. You follow me? Because they're enemies of the truth and their creator. But we have to be friends of it and do everything in our power to get it done. So I need somebody, can you look that up, Cheryl, to see what the name of those people are so I can contact them and hire a couple of those companies?
I'll try, but I need to make sure I know what I'm looking for. I'm not clear on what you're asking.
Okay, let me try to articulate as best I can. There are companies or people that you can pay that will establish you all over the world in different media formats like all over Facebook, email, LinkedIn, Twitter, you know what I mean, Reddit. And they'll post up and they'll make sure they'll get your name out and make you well known. Are you following me?
Okay, I'll check something out and I'll get back to you on that.
Very good, very good. Thank you so much, Tyler. All right, now back to the questions. You've had time to think of some questions. There's got to be something you want to know if you're serious about this journey. What is it? I want y'all to feel that silence because that's the work of the creatures. You hear what I'm saying? They want to try to drag it down, and even a lot of times, if they're even here, but a lot of times they'll call in and then they'll lay the phone down and go do something else because they're not interested in this mission at all whatsoever. They were only here to try to block it and stop it, which they will never succeed at. As long as there are people that want to go to heaven, they're destined to fail. That's the word of the Most High, Creator of us all. There is something I wanted to share with you all. If you still have the Lost Book of Enki. And if you don't have the book, you can look it up. The Lost Book of Enki. I sent you all links to this before. All right, we'll go to page 296. Page 296. Let me know when you all are ready. This is, of course, Enki, one of the leaders of the Anunnaki, and the father of Marduk, or Malachi Yanun.
I'm sorry, Amun. What page was that again? I'm sorry.
It's page 296. Are you all ready? Did you look it up, Cheryl? The Lost Book of Enki. PDF.
I'm getting there, but you can start. It's okay. I'll get there.
Okay. All right. Are you there,
To Messiah.
Okay. Now, this is the account of how Marduk, supreme being himself, declared, and Babili built, and how Inanna, warrior kings, commanded, blood made flow, and sacrileges allowed. After kingship to Urim from Annunaki was transferred, Nanar and Ningel on the people smiled. As his rank of 30 befitting as the god of the moon, remember I told you all that the Anunnaki were raised in ranks numerically, and that Anu's rank is 60, right? Well, Ningel's rank is 30. As his rank of 30 befitting as the god of the moon, Nanar, was worshipped. As the count of the moon months in a year, 12 festivals each year he decreed. To each of the 12 great Anunnaki a month and its festival were dedicated. Throughout the first region to the Anunnaki gods, great and lesser ones, shrines and sanctuaries were built. The people to their gods could directly pray. In the first region, civilization from King Enki to other neighboring lands spread, and cities of man, local rulers as righteous shepherds were designated. Artisans and farmers, shepherds and weavers, their products far and wide exchanged. Laws of justice were decreed. Contracts of trade, of espousal and divorce were honored. In schools, let me say though, what I was talking about is that when Malachi was free, I, as one of his students, I was really thinking that people were like me. I was so dedicated to him and the truth that I put Malachi over many radio stations I paid for monthly, and all over the internet in thousands of posts, and on TV. I even went to Comcast and created footage for him, and I did it even more in his defense after his arrest. So I want y'all to understand that I expected that you all would be thinking about this in the same aggressive way that I am, but evidently not. Okay. In schools, the young ones studied scribes, hymns, and proverbs, and wisdom recorded. Abundance and happiness were in the lands, quarrels and encroachments there also were. All the while, Inanna in her sky ship from land to land roamed. Near the upper sea with Utu she followed. To the domain of her uncle Ishkor she went. Dudu, beloved, she called him. To the people who in the upper plain of the two rivers dwelt, Inanna took a liking. The sound of their tongue she found pleasant. To speak their language she learned. By the name of the planet Lamu, that's Mars, in their tongue Ishtar they called her. Uruk, her city, Annunaki they called Dudu, as Adad in their language they pronounced. Sin, Lord of Oracles, her father Nanar they named. Urim city by them was called. And you hear some of the names of some of you that will be returning. Maybe not all in this group here, but I've had many groups over the years, over the past 40 years. Shamash, bright sun, in their language, Utu, they called him. Two, they worship. It's a good sign, Cheryl, that I tunneled all the way to you in the vortex, because I am an interdimensional being. You know, Enlil by them, Father Enlil was called. Nippur by them was Niruki. Ki Enki, land of the lofty watchers. Shumer in their language was named. So when I'm reading things like this, when you hear a name, see if the tone affects you in any positive way or strikes a chord in you. In Shumer, the first region, kingship between the cities was rotated. In the second region, diversity by Ra was not permitted. Alone to reign he wished. The eldest of heaven, firstborn who is on earth, thus by the priest to be known he wanted. The foremost from the earliest times, so he declared in the hymns to be called Lord of eternity. He he who everlastingness has made over all the gods presiding, the one who is without equal, the great solitary and sole one. So did Marduk as Ra above all other gods himself in place, their powers and attributes to himself, he by himself assigned. As in Lil, I am for lordship and decrees, as in Herter, for the whole and combat, as he dad for lightning and thunder, as Nanar for illuminating the night. As Utu, I am Shamash, as Nergal, over the lower world I reign. As Gibil, the golden depths I know, whence copper and silver come, I have found. As in her Zeta, numbers and their count I command, the heavens my glory bespeak. So he wants to be like, the Most High. By these proclamations, the Annunaki leaders were greatly alarmed. To their father Enki, the brothers of Marduk spoke. Nergal to the inheritor, their concerns conveyed. What has you overpowered? Enki to his son Marduk said. Unheard of are your pretensions. The heavens by supremacy bespeak. Marduk, his father Enki, answered. The bull of heaven, Enlil's constellation sign, by his own offspring was slain. In the heavens of the age of the ram, my age is coming. Unmistakable the omens are. It is the bold and the redo, the circle of the 12 constellations Enki examined. On the first day of spring, the beginning of a year, sunrise was carefully observed. And the constellation stars of the bull was the sun that day rising. In Nibruki and Urim, Enlil, and Nanar, the observations made. In the lower world where the instruments station had been, Nergal, the results attested. Still remote was the time of the ram, the age of the bull of Enlil, it still was. In his domains, Marduk and his assertions did not relent. By Nabu, he was assisted. To domains, not his emissaries, he sent. To the people that his time has come to announce. To Nin-Gesida, the Annunaki leaders appealed how the people, the skies to observe, to teach. They have a funny way of thinking, and that's the way it comes out in words. In his wisdom, stone structures, Nin-Gesida devised, Nin-Herter and Ishkor to erect them helped. In the central lands, near and far people how the skies to observe them, they taught. Okay. To march against Megan and Miluha, Marduk domains, Naram sin, she instructed. And I want y'all to be aware that I might be changing up conference call rooms because I got to get them completely under my control again so that I can get the count of every class and all the information because it's just not forthcoming, okay? The sacrilege of an earthly's army through the... I'm sorry. Fully on 300, okay. All right. That the sun and the constellation of the bull was still rising. The people they showed. What saw it Enki these ongoing watch. How fate, the rightful order twisted, he pondered. After the Anunnakis, gods themselves declared on mankind's support, they instead are dependent. In the first region to unify lands under one leader, the Anunnaki decided. A warrior king they desired. To Inanna of Marduk, the adversary, the task of the right man to find they entrusted. A strong man whom in her journey she had met and loved. Inanna to Enlil indicated. Arbakad of Fort Garrisons, the commander, was his father. A high priestess his mother was. Scepter and crown Enlil him gave. Sharukin, righteous regent, Enlil him appointed. As on the bugle once was done, a new crown city, the lands to unify, was established. Agadi, the unified city, he named it, not far from Kishi, it was located. By Enlil was Sharukin empowered, Inanna with their weapons of brilliance, his warriors accompanied. All the lands from the lower sea to the upper sea to his throne, obedience gave. At the borders of the fourth region to protect it, his troops were stationed. With the cautious eye, Ra, or Ray, on Inanna and Sharukin constantly gazed. Then as a falcon on his prey they pounced. From the place where Marduk, the tower to heaven reaching to build, had attempted. Sacred soil from there to Agadi did Sharukin move. Therein the heavenly bright object to implant. Enraged did Marduk to the first region rush with Nabu and followers to the towers place they came. Of the sacred soil, I alone, the possessor, am, by me shall a gateway of the gods be established. So did Marduk vehemently announce instructions, the river to divert to his followers he gave, dikes and walls in the place of the tower they raised. The Ezekiel, house for the utmost God, for Marduk they built. Babili, the gateway of gods, Nabu in his father's honor named it. In the heart of the Eden, in the midst of the first region, Marduk himself established. Inanna's fury, no boundary knew. With her weapons on Marduk's followers' death she inflicted. The blood of people was never before on earth like rivers flowed. To his brother Marduk, Nergal, to Babili, came for the sake of people. Babili, to leave him, he persuaded. Let's peaceably wait for the true signs of heaven, Nergal to his brother said. To depart, Marduk agreed from land to land, the skies to watch he traveled. Now, you see if y'all know this fellow right here. Amun, the unseen one. Now, in these days they call me, that is me, the hidden one, but I'm in that family, you'll see. Amun, the unseen one, in the second region, was Ra, henceforth called, like Amun-Ra, right? For a while was Inanna appeased. 2 sons of Sharukin, his people's successors were. Then on the throne of Agadi, Sharukin's grandson ascended. Naram Sin, by Sin loved, he was called. In the first region, Enlil and Inerta, absent were, to the lands beyond the oceans they went. In the second region, Ra was away. As Marduk in other lands he traveled. Her chance in her hand to seize all powers, Inanna envisioned. Naram Sin to seize all lands, she commanded. All right, you didn't find it yet, Cheryl?
No, I'm struggling a bit.
Oh, okay. All right, Unc, you think you can read on from here?
Yes.
Okay.
So, to march against Megan and Maluha, Marduk,
Okay, isn't that
domain.
Is that page 304 you on? 302. Okay, so let me go back. Okay, go ahead. To march
against Megan and Maluha, Marduk, domains, Naramsin, she instructed. The sacrilege of an earthling's army through the fourth region passing Naramsin committed. Nagan he invaded and filled Ikar house, which like a mountain is, to enter he attempted. By the sacrileges and transgressions Enlil was infuriated. Upon the Ramsin and Agade a curse he put. By a bite of a scorpion did Naramsin die. By the command of the Enlil was Agade wiped out. At the count of 1,500 earth years did this happen. Now, this is the account of the prophecy by Galzu to Enlil in a vision given about Marduk's
let me be clear.
supremacy.
I want y'all to understand. Does anybody remember who Galzu is? Yeah, well, go ahead.
Well, Gastu was the one that gave his seed to...
No, Galzu, not Gastu.
Okay, no. I don't know. Yes.
Yeah.
That was who the one that just pop in and out whenever
that's right.
Right.
That's right. He was the unknown one. Because Anu shared the throne, but it was one before Anu. You remember who was the guy before Anu? Or the head of the Annunaki? He died on Mars. Alelu, remember? Alelu was on the throne before Anu. And they had to fight because Anu was a pure bloodline and Alelu was mixed. Like the son of... Oh, I won't get too complicated. Anyway, Alelu was chased away from the Nibiru when he ran through the hammer bracelet of the asteroid belt, knocking out with laser beams all the asteroids until he got to Earth to find the gold, the nukes that they needed in order to preserve risk and protect from the ultraviolet rays of the tri-solar system. But as they came down, and Anu came down. You know, Anu, whenever he had orders, he would send it down on parchments with a seal signed by the king and whatever, you know, orders for the people to follow on earth that were under him. And they received a proclamation from the Most High, and it came down by this fellow called Galzu in a craft. And they all changed what they were going to do, selfish things they were going to do on the earth, and started doing righteous works on the earth because of the order that was delivered by Galzu from the Most High. But then when Anu finally came to earth to visit, he saw everything they had built and what they had done. He said, "What is all this?" He said, "What? I didn't. Who told y'all to do that?" They said, "Well, you did." You know, and he said, "By what emissary? I didn't send messages like these." And they said, "Well," he said his name was Galzu, and he had your seal, and I mean, it was legitimate stuff. It looked real. And Anu told him, said, "No, what it is Galzu is the unknown one. Galzu is sent straight from Paut Kalum, and he's not associated with any beings at all. He's interceded directly from Paut Kalum, not from any deity. And y'all followed the orders of Galzu and not mine." That's right, and it changed the course of history on earth. So go ahead on.
Now this is the account of the prophecy of Galzu to Enlil and a vision given. About Marduk's supremacy it was, how a calamity to survive a man to choose. After Marduk, Amun became kingship in the second region, disintegrated. Disorder and confusion reigned. After Agade was wiped out in the first region, there was disorder, confusion reigned. In the first region, kingship was in disarray. From cities of God to cities of man, it moved about. Uniki, Lagash, Urim, and Kish, Isen, and to faraway places, kingship was shifting.
Are you all starting to get? I'm sorry, but are you all starting to get the cadence of this, the way they think and word things? Yeah. If you just listen to the read, just fall into it, like little girls timing themselves to jump rope. You know, just go ahead. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
That's okay. Then Enlil, with that new consulting, kingship in the hands of Nanar, deposited. To Urim, in whose soul the divine heavenly
right object Urim, you remember when you have Urim and Thummim stones?
Yes.
You know, and you draw them. It's all so the name of Urim is in the Bible in 4 places. Urim and Thummim. Right, go ahead.
Bright object remained implanted. Kingship for the third time was granted. In Urim, a righteous shepherd of men, Nanar as king appointed. Yor-Nammu was his name. Equity in the land Yor-Nammu established. To violence and strife an end he made. In all the lands prosperity was abundant.
Let me see.
It was at that time.
One more thing. You're going to hear about it here. Adum. That was the one that when I was in New Orleans on the computer, and it came up, "Don't fear, I am," what do you call himself? Adamu, or something like that. But it was the name that I saw in the book. Adama is the way it looked to me, but it was Adamu. He said, "Don't fear, I am Adamu. Don't be afraid," and whatever. And so I turned off the computer, then it popped back on, then I unplugged it, and the message popped back on, lit up with the plug out, and eventually he appeared on the left side of my bed, standing by the nightstand between the solar flex and the bed, with his arms crossed. He was reddish brown, tall, looked like a gray in his shape or anatomy, but his eyes were large and black, and he looked at me without expression. He wasn't angry, afraid, sad, or confused. He was just looking at me like he was observing me to see what my reaction would be when I finally turned around and looked at him. But Adamu, that's a real being that I've met. I've been with these beings, not only on the bureau, but All the places on earth I've been with them. Go ahead.
Okay. It was at that time that in the nighttime Enlil a dream vision had. The image of a man to him appeared, bright and shining like the heavens he was.
I can understand.
As he approached and by Enlil's bed stood, Enlil the white-haired Galzu recognized. In his left hand a tablet of lapis lazuli he was holding. The starry heavens on it were designed by the 12 constellation signs where the heavens divided. To them with his left hand Galzu pointed. From the bull to the ram Galzu, his pointing shifted. 3 times the pointing he repeated. Then in a dream vision Galzu spoke up and to Enlil thus said, the righteous time of benevolence and peace by evil doing and bloodshed will be followed. In 3 celestial portions, the ram of Marduk, the bull of Enlil, will replace. One who himself, as supreme God, has declared supremacy on earth, will seize. A calamity as has never before occurred, by fate decreed, will happen. As at the time of the deluge, a righteous and worthy man must be chosen.
That's
by
right.
him and his seed will civilize mankind, as by the Creator of all intended, be preserved. So did Galzu, the divine emissary, to Enlil in the dream vision say. When Enlil from the nighttime dream vision awakened, there was no tablet beside his bed. Was it an oracle from heaven, or did I it all in my heart imagine? Enlil to himself wondered. To none of his sons, Nanar among them, nor to Enlil did he of the dream vision tell. Among the priests in the Nabruki temple, Enlil, a celestial servant, inquired. Tarhu, an oracle priest, to him the high priest indicated. Of Ibru, or Arbakad, the grandson, he was descended. 6th generation of Nabriku, priest he was. With the royal daughters of Urim, kings they were intermarried. Get yourself to Nanar's temple in Urim, the heavens for celestial time observed. 72 earth years is the count of the celestial portion. The passage of 3 thereof carefully record. So did Enlil to Tarhu, the priest say. The prophesied time he made him count. While Enlil the dream vision and his portents pondered, Marduk from land to land went. Of his supremacy the people he was telling, the followers' gain was his purpose. In the lands of the upper sea and the lands of Ki-Ingi bordering, Nabu, Marduk's son, was the people inciting. To seize the 4th region was his plan. Between the dwellers of the west and the dwellers of the east, clashes were occurring. King's host of warriors formed, caravans ceased going. The walls of cities were razed. But Galzu had foretold, indeed is happening, Enlil to himself said. Upon Tirhu and his sons, of worthy lineage descended, Enlil set his gaze. This is the man to choose. By Galzu indicated. Enlil to himself said. To Nanar, without the dream vision revealing, Enlil to his son thus said. In the land between the rivers whence Arbakad had come, a city like Urim established. A home abode away from Urim, let it for you and Ningal be. In its midst a temple shrine established. The priest Prince Tirhu in charge thereof appoint.
Let me just
On his
interject.
father's word abiding.
Just for you all to be conscious of it. When you see all these great cities from antiquity, like in Egypt, and even the disagreeable ones in Angkor, why? Because there were 7 cities established for disagreeable, 7 for agreeable. That's the ruins and remnants that you're seeing right now of those, and they wonder who built those great things. It was the gods themselves that built the pyramids and all those wonderful works, okay? of which some of you were a part of those, but have fallen. You right? But there were also mortals here on the planet, right? That they were abusing and using to rob and rape and sacrifice for blood, etc. But all this stuff is starting to come together and be revealed. And I'm working very hard right now to put together programs to reveal everything to the world. That's why I have to have foundations to have everything poured out all over the world, like I was doing for Malachi. And as far as supporting him, like financially, I would buy a minimum of $1,000 a book, donate $1,000 also every month, and travel from New Orleans to Georgia and back 2 or 3, sometimes 4 times a month, just to hear him teach. Not like these reptiles that think it's a chore to just get on the phone. You follow what I'm saying? So I just misunderstood the character of people, and I thought that they would be more generous, more giving, more charitable, more serious, more dedicated, I thought they would have more substance, but they don't. And that's probably why they are what they are, by their own choice, by their own actions, by their own minds and thoughts, by their own motivations, right? Okay, because in this latest package, there's a lot of information that they've never seen or heard before. One of which, of course, I told you, is Man of Many Miracles, where you can hear them again, Malachi walking with brothers and sisters in New York, and it's dark, and he points his index finger up to the sky at a star, and with his finger moves the star left and right. And they were amazed by that. And with that, after that one demonstration, those brothers and sisters never doubted who he was ever again. But niggas can see it often and see greater miracles performed than that. And their reaction is, pass the Kool-Aid, let me get a bite of the hamburger. You understand me? Niggas. All right, go ahead, keep reading.
By his father's word abiding, Nanar in the land of Arbakad, the city of Haran, established. To be high priest in his temple shrine, Tirhu, he sent his family with him. When 2 celestial portions out of the prophesied 3 were completed, did Tirhu to Haran go. At that time, Urnam knew the joy of Urim and the western lands from their chariot fell and died. On the throne of Urim, his son Shulgi, him succeeded, full of vile and eager for battle Shulgi was. And Nabruki himself, high priest, he anointed. In Unungi, the joys of Inanna's Volvo, he sought. Warriors from the mountain lands, to Nanar not beholden, in his army he enlisted. With their help, the western lands he overran. The sanctity of Mission Control Center he ignored. In the sacred 4 regions his foot he set. King of the 4 regions himself he declared. About the fulfillment, Enlil was angered. The defilement, thank you. Enlil was angered. About the invading, Enki to Enlil spoke. The rulers of your regions, all bound, have exceeded. Enki to Enlil bitterly said, of all the troubles, Marduk is the fountainhead.
So what is he saying? All the troubles. Where is he saying all
Marduk
the trouble is
started it.
Marduk is starting all the trouble. Yeah. Of all the troubles, Marduk is the fountainhead. Right? Okay. I found that out.
Still the dream vision to himself keeping, and Lil to Tirhu, his intention turned. Upon Ibru, the eldest son of Tirhu, and Lil cast its choosing gaze. A princely offspring, valiant and with priestly secrets acquainted Ibrum was. To protect the sacred places, the chariot's accent and descent enabled, and Lil Ibrum to go commanded. No sooner did Ibrum from Haran depart than in that city Marduk arrived. The defilements he too had observed, as birth pains of a new order, he them deemed. From Haran on the threshold of Shumer, his final thrust he planned. From Haran at the edge of Ishkar's domain situated, the rising of armies he directed. When 24 earth years of his sojourn in Haran had passed, Marduk to the other gods of whomever descended, cheerfully an appeal made, confessing his transgression, but insisting on his lordship. To them he thus said, O gods of Haran, O great gods who judged, learn my secrets. As I girdle my belt, my memories I remember. I am the divine Marduk, a great god. In my domains as Ra am I known.
And so is Amun known as Ra, you see.
Yes.
So they are one with two different personalities and two different beings. Be aware of that.
Continue.
Yeah, you can continue.
For my sin,
next page.
Okay. For my sin to exile I went. To the mountains have I gone. In many lands I wandered. From where the sun rises to where the sun sets I went. To the land of Ishkar I came. 24 years in the midst of Haran I nested. An omen in its temple I sought. Until when, about my lordship, an omen in the temple I asked. Your days of exile are completed. To me the oracle in the temple said, O great gods, who the fates determine, let me to my city set my course. My temple, the Esagil, as an everlasting abode established, a king in Babylon installed. In my temple house let all the Annunaki gods assemble, my covenant accept. So did Marduk, confessing and appealing to the other gods, his coming announced. By his appeal for their submission, the Anunnaki gods were disturbed and alarmed. To great assembly, counsel to take, Enlil them all summoned. All the Anunnaki leaders in Nabruki gathered. Enki and Marduk's brothers also came. About the happenings, all of them were agitated. Opposed to Marduk and Nabu, they all were. In the council of the great gods, accusations were rampant. Recriminations filled the chamber. What is coming, no one can prevent. Let us Marduk's supremacy accept. Enki along counseled. If the time of the ram is coming, let us Marduk of the bond, heaven, earth, deprived. Enlil in anger proposed. To obliterate the place of the celestial chariot, all except Enki agreed. To use, therefore, the weapons of Terra, Nergal suggested. Only Enki was opposed.
Now, see, let me just one more. The weapons of Terra were nuclear weapons. That's how all those places were destroyed. Like Pumapuku, and you see all the places that the stones were cast around like play toys. And you know when you look at those big blocks and boulders, those places were so solid you can't blow it up with no bullets and hand grenades. That was nuclear weapons, and you could tell by the ground around the sand. You had vitrified sand there that had turned to glass. It takes blast heat, nuclear heat, in order to fuse sand into glass. You understand? So that was the weapons they were talking about. Terrible weapons like that they used on Mars and on Earth, in what you call a war in heaven. Going on right now today, like I told you, I saw two crafts fighting right in front of the house in the sky one night a few years ago. One was shooting red laser beams, the other one was shooting like blue laser beams. And the one with blue laser beams on the right side knocked down and destroyed the one on the red with the red laser beams. I saw it fall to the ground. It's real. Yeah, nuclear weapons already here. In fact, if you look at the pictures on the walls of the pyramids, you see airplanes, light bulbs, and of course nuclear weapons, nuclear bombs, just like the ones they got now. You got to understand, these people from ancient times, they were you in the past. And the things that you discover, just like right now, when you look at extraterrestrials on rocks and portraits and things carved into the rocks. You see them dressed up in the same kind of spacesuits you see them just now putting on now. To them, that was the past, thousands and thousands of years ago. To you, it's your present, because they're coming at you again from your past through your future. That's right. That's right. We coming at you again from your past. It's just like I'm Amun, the same one that was the Pharaoh, to Tut Amun, thousands of years ago. And those periods are much older than what they're talking about. We were here long, many thousands of years. We were rulers and gods and did all of those powerful works. Right. And now we're coming at you again from your past, just like when they took up the Mayans, because they evolved, not technologically through 5G like these stupid niggas and crackers trying to do, but they evolved consciously, and they raised up consciously with divine love and unification with the Most High. And by that, they ascended as a whole tribe, a group, millions of people. But now, the whole cosmos is standing off and placing wagers and watching you all breathlessly to see if we can pull it off. If you can raise up a whole world, not just a single tribe, at once. And I'm the final part of that transformation, here to wake you up and pull you up. Right. So those of you that believe and then turn again in disbelief, then increase in disbelief, and there is no saving of you. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry, sister. You got a couple more lines here.
Okay. To use, therefore, the weapons of terror, Nergal suggested only Inti was opposed. Of the decision, Earth to Anu, the words pronounced. Anu to Earth, the words repeated. What was destined to be, by your decision to undo, will fail. So did Inti say as he departed. The evil thing to carry out Ninurta and Nergal were selected.
So therefore, they use what the Hindus call the bomber weapons and what you call nuclear or ICBMs and whatever. Y'all have different names for it, but they put those things to use, and they blew up and overturned all the fallen cities and what have you. You follow me? Because it was too much evil in the earth, just like it is now. Even in this class, there's too much evil, and they must be destroyed, decapitated, and cast into the pit of fire. You follow me? Just like in Matthews, there once was a farmer that slept, and while he slept, the stranger crept in, and he sowed tares among the wheat. The farmer woke up, and he was asked, "Did you not sow only good wheat?" He said, "Yea." And then the question was asked of him, "Well, then whence from came the tares?" And he said, "Well, while man slept, a stranger crept in and sowed tares among the wheat." And he said, "Well, would you like me to go out and uproot the wicked tares?" He said, "Nay, wait for the harvest." That's Armageddon, and the angels will come, and they will be the reapers. And they will separate the wheat from the tares, wrap all the tares in bundles, and burn them in a furnace, and rake all the wheat unto my barn. Matthew went on to the next page when the disciples asked Jesus to reveal to them the meaning. And he said to them that the stranger was man, the stranger was the devil, that the tares were the children of the wicked one, the wheat were the children of the righteous. The harvest would be the end of the world. To rake all the wheat into my barn was to bring the righteous people to heaven, and wrap the tares in bundles and burn them in the fire. It's what's going to happen to all the wicked assholes. That's what it was. Okay? Thank you. Now, anybody have any questions?
Yes. Who was Galzu, and where did he come from?
Okay. Galzu was an emissary not from God or Anu or the Most High, or Elion El. He's an emissary straight from Kalum, who has superseded all them, so that when God has a plan for something, the supreme beings, they were beings. Mm-hmm. The oversight, the final word is to Fa'ut, Kalum. And he creates or forms this being called Galzu that goes in and overrides their commands and creates what he wants the way he wants it done. You follow me?
Yeah.
But Galzu is not a being that's got as mother or father. You know, he ain't got no lineage or nothing. Like he just straight from food. You understand? You could just say he's a poof cat. He just poof and he's there.
Right. Okay.
Right. Huh? All right.
What is the tablet of lapis lazuli?
Lapis lazuli is a fine mineral, more expensive than gold and rubies and all that, but it's something that they use texturally, you know, to inlay when they build fine works and expensive things. Like Inky used lapis lazuli for the tablet and the box that he had to put the tablets in and all that. You know, lapis lazuli was something that the Egyptians used a lot. Just look up lapis lazuli. Yeah.
Isn't it blue?
Yes, it is blue. Lapis lazuli. It's a beautiful.
Looks like I have a question.
I'll do my best.
Yeah, I want to know, like, how did they build the pyramids?
Well, the way that the deities did it, they built it from the top down, not from the bottom up like human beings would, right? And you have the same amount underground as you have above ground, because it was a small duplicate of Nibiru, which is really a big square, but it revolves around so fast it appears to be a circle, or you know what I mean, but it's really a cube. Now, the reason and to make sure that you understood that they did that way from the top down, that when you're on the bottom and you start looking up at the top of the pyramid, what do you find on the top of the Great Pyramid? No capstone. Yeah, on the flat surfaces, no, there's no point. There's no capstone there. And they left it there because the capstone is spiritual, meaning that the information that built the pyramids didn't come from this world as above from below, but it came from above. So they built it without a capstone, because the capstone is there, but it's in the spiritual realm where the knowledge came from. And so they built it down, levitating stones, all the way from the top down. Are you following me, son?
Yes,
it was truly a work of the gods. If you look at Ethiopia, the land that they have the Ark of the Covenant in, you see that there are a lot of temples there, that there are big giant square holes in the hard ground, and those temples were built from the top down, stone temples, carved out, and right now they don't have any idea how that can be constructed unless they submit to the fact that the black beings are deities. The 9 etheric beings are gods, not 6 ether, with their 5G, right? They're just monkeys. Have you ever seen in the 1800s, in the early 1900s, these white men with the little tufts of hair at the end of their sideburns? They call them, not locks, but muffs or something like that. You've seen that the old men with the glasses, they have the little protruding hair at the end of their long sideburns.
Like pointing, you know, like Elvis Presley type burns?
No. It sticks just like they got little poofs of fur right next to their mouth on both sides. Yeah. When you look at the rhesus monkeys, you can see it. You understand? So what these 6 etheric beings is monkeys, and they're jealous about who you are. So they're doing everything in their power, like the devil said, to convince you and themselves that you're not shit. You understand? Because they know you're the God, and they know you're supreme, and they know they're inferior, and they came down in great anger because they once were up high, but now they're damned and cursed as apes and swine. You know, monkeys, you know, rhesus monkeys and chimpanzees. You know what I mean? When you look at white people, especially the women, they have all them wrinkles around their lips, you know, the age marks they call around the sides of their eyes, you know, call it cold feet and all that. When you look at a chimpanzee's face, you see all those lines around the lips? Cheryl, have you ever seen that?
Oops. Yes, I have.
Don't you? Now, when you look at the white woman's face and think about the chimpanzee, isn't that the same thing?
Yeah, it looks similar.
That's right. It's the same thing, because human women you don't have that. I saw you. You don't have that. Why?
Because I'm not them.
That's exactly right. But they're trying to convince you that them, or being close to them, in some way makes them superior or great. Are you following me? But that's just a curse. They've been cursed as apes. They've been cursed, literally cursed as apes and swine. I don't know what the black devils are mad about. The black ones are just stupid. Say it again.
Try telling them that. They'll reverse it on you.
Well, I'm not going to try to tell them that. They can't hear that. That's too... Their senses would revolt. What they're trying to hear is white supremacy that makes it... That you polluting their white blood with your noble God blood and all that. You know what I'm talking about? They're trying to say God's mixing with monkeys is fucking the monkeys up, Cheryl. You understand?
Yeah.
Is that absurd?
It is.
But the devil is absurd, obnoxious. See, so their reality is based on lies. Remember what you just read to us? He's a liar. You understand? And there's no truth in him, right?
Yep.
And he'll kill you for telling the truth. It's just, that's how they hate the truth. Do you understand? They're a liar. And they can't handle the truth. So what they try to do is kill the messenger or block or stop him in every way they can. Are you following me? Because they abhor truth. You got it? Because they themselves are a lie. But what they need to be trying to do is get with the Messiah so they can be forgiven. And even though their sins be as red as scarlet, they can be made again as white as snow, and they can be brought back into the heavens. You understand? Because there is no other way. And technology and extraterrestrials and all that bullshit they playing with ain't doing nothing but wasting time and drawing them closer to the inevitable end. You got it?
Yeah.
But they don't know that. What I'm confused about, what are the black ones rebelling against?
Probably themselves.
Yeah. It's got to be themselves, because all of us at the core, even the devil, is at the core of everybody. So they're rebelling against their actual self. Is right. That's true. But they're going out of the way. Not that you were in last class, right?
Yes, I was.
Wasn't that a very dynamic and informative class? High energy and a powerful class, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so that should attract devils, right? But devils are pouring energy and they're pumping brakes on it. Do you understand what I mean?
Yes.
Don't you think it's strange? Because the revelations are getting stronger, that participation is getting weaker. Do you see something wrong with that?
Yeah, they're working hard. They're working hard.
Yeah, they do work hard. They're earning their fire. They're earning their pain. They're earning their eternal chastisement. They're earning their curses and damnation. Right. Because anybody that's opposed to the chosen one or trying to frustrate him in any way, that is the source of their pain, the cause of their error. That's where their hell is coming from. But they can't understand that. They're too busy knowing everything. You follow me? So they went off and set up a whole big live reality. Say it again.
10:29? Well, 3:29 for me.
Say it again.
Time to move the stars.
It's time to move the stars.
All right. What do you got there in London, Cheryl, in the sky?
I have got a starry night. 1 moment.
Oh, you got a starry night. Good. I'm turning up this light over my head right now. All right. What you going to move in Texas while she gets herself ready to move something in London?
It's snowing here, Amun.
All right. What do you got outside, Hotep?
He's inside.
I'm still in the house. I'm going out right now.
All right. Who's outside right now? Kim?
This is the Nukas. I'm outside.
It's cloudy in Florida.
What do you see? What do you see? Okay, it's cloudy in Florida. What do you see, Anukas?
It's terrible in Florida.
I can see Orion. We got a starry sky.
All right. What are you going to do with it? Orion.
Bottom left. In the name of Amun, Raise up. It's raising up. It's to the side a little bit.
Yeah, it went to the left.
In the name of Amun, drop down.
It's Amun.
Dropping down. In the name of Amun, go to the right.
Oh, you can say Amun, I guess.
It's moving right.
Moving right.
Move back to the left.
Moving left.
Moving left.
Went up a little bit and going over, moving around some. In the name of Amun, move closer. It's moving closer. In the name of Amun, go back.
Going back.
Going back.
In the name of Amun, make a clockwise circle.
All right.
And it's going clockwise.
Thank you. What are you going to move, Hokep? I love you too, Hokep.
Okay, I'm gonna move the star.
Okay, I see it.
In the name of Amun, raise up. And it's raising up. Now, in the name of Amun, drop down.
Dropping down, fast.
Dropping down. And stop. In the name of Amun, move to the left. It did a little shuffle, but it's moving to the left.
Yeah, it shuffled down.
Yeah, it did.
Stop. Stop. In the name of Amun, move back to the right. And it's moving right. In the name of Amun, go in a clockwise circle. And it's going clockwise. Cowhat Messiah in the class.
I love y'all. Okay, anybody else tonight?
Love you back.
Okay, you ready, y'all? In Texas?
No, I'm ready, Cheryl.
Okay, Cheryl. Oh, okay, very good. Where you going to move?
Well, I'm going to move across. I think it's a cross. It's not a star.
That's all right.
So I'm going to move it. Right. In the name of Amun, move up. Let's see what's going to happen.
It's moving up.
No, and it's got red light as well. Yeah.
I see the grass he's talking about.
Yeah. In the name of Amun, drop down.
Please enter your followed by the pound or hash. If you do not know your PIN, please enter pound or hash.
Dropping down. Moving down.
They're subject to my command.
Thank you.
Cheryl.
Yeah.
I'm the fleet commander.
Right. In the name of Amun, move to the right.
It dropped down first.
And it's moving right.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, right. Moving now. Moving to the right. It's flickering as well. All the lights are flickering.
Yeah.
They are. I see them, you know.
Yeah. Now move to the left.
Thank y'all for bearing witness to what she's doing.
Oh, yeah, it's moving left. And I think I should leave them alone now. That's it. Thank you.
Yeah. They probably upset with you, huh? Sure.
I know. I'll put you back in your place. That's it. Thank you.
I love you. That's right. No harm, no foul, right?
Right.
But anyway, you know that we have lordship. We're the real 144,000. So you all do everything in your power that is sincere to make this mission successful, and be proud in a way of the adversary of the boogers with feet, because just get excited about the fact that they're so terrified of your success that they actually put time and energy into to stopping you. You understand? But they are as confirmation, as powerful as moving stars, that it's really you, Cheryl. You understand?
Yeah.
That is really. If it wasn't really us, what would they be here wasting time? Look, I love you all, and Cheryl, get back in touch with me when you find out about those media companies, right? That's just the beginning of some of the things that we're about to sell these these demons with, okay?
Okay,
I love
we'll
you
do.
all. You hear me? All right. Peace.